Hi there guys, and welcome to the latest Train Sim 2017 video. Today we're taking the Class 92 from Kingmore Reception Sidings up to Shap Summit Goods Loop. It's just a quick drive scenario, really just to show off the Armstrong powerhouse enhancement pack that came out for the 92, because the Class 91 pack is looking to be similar to this. So compared to the default Class 92, this is sort of leaps and bounds better. So as you can see already, we've got the TMS screen sort of starts up properly, which is quite cool. They actually had a guy who drives 92s and knows them really well go through all this and give them the start sequence and everything, so it's really well done. You've got different settings throughout. So here you've got your speed set there, ETS current, battery statuses, and this is your dynamic brake demand. So this is when the motors are in rear static mode. This is the cooler group. So this is converter 1, transformer, converter 2. When these reach these levels of the thing, you get different fan settings, which is quite cool. And then you get the announcements. That's any faults. You've actually got the FAP, fault advisory something or other. You have to press F to make that work, and that's to do with the the interference of signals that these locos are pretty synonymous with. So we'll get going. So as you see already, I insert the master keys. My headlights are already on. I like driving. I know you shouldn't. Driving with the upper headlight. We will stick the instrument lights on, which are up here somewhere. There. I like the instrument light in this. It's pretty cool. So let's stick it in to neutral, cancel the AWS and the DSD, and you drive the 92 quite differently. You use the speed set pretty much all the time as far as I'm aware, and my pantograph's already set up for British Rail AC. We've got the pantograph up there. Increase the speed of my wipers a little bit there. That's what I want to do. Sort them on, and then it's that one. Right, so let's get into forward. Take our brakes off. Put a little bit of power on. So the 92 is fitted with a boost button. And this was to help it haul ridiculously heavy trains through the Channel Tunnel. If you watch the amps in the bottom, if I do press it, it does actually increase the amps, but we're not going to use that. Also on this one, the GSR screen brightness can be turned up, which I quite like to do. So the 92s were built specifically for the Channel Tunnel opening. They were the freight and Night Star locomotives, but of course they were never used for Night Star. So they were incredibly complex. Every system on it is duplicated, some are even triplicated. I haven't actually got a driver's manual as such for this, only the traction manual. So I've got what was sold to me is called a line of route, which I think was used for the maintenance. So I've got wiring diagrams, I've got everything for it, but not specific driving instructions. So I mean, as you can hear, compared to the original DTG version, the sounds of this are already amazing. This is just a quick drive over West Coast Main and over Shap, so the AI won't be as good as it should be. I'll just check. Oh, this is a screen I missed off. So this isn't on the real one, I don't think. But what it basically tells you is everything that's set, and you can the over temperature simulation is if it goes over a certain temperature, it will shut off power for you and things like that. It's really well done. The physics of the loco were completely changed as well, so it's not just a sound pack, which is what Armstrong Powerhouse have been hinting at. with the 91 pack. So I've just got the default consist, so it's 20 mega freight wagons, and it's still got the default textures on the containers as well. Got over there 47s, large logo BR blue. So as a kid, this was like the creme de la creme because it was brand new. And I mean, these started, I mean, I think I saw my first one 1994, maybe 93, 94. I think we were, where would I have been? South end of the East Coast Main Line. I think Hitchin Way. It was the first time I'd seen some of the Railway Technical Centre coaches as well. I think it was sitting over in where the Tampers used to be, the little permanent way depot at Hitchin. It's just got some cool things that nothing else really has. I like the fault lights, strange logos, because of course these were made for SNCF as well, so it's a compromise between the two. It's got different sort of diagrams for things, and it's just everything's in KMH and MPH. It's interesting to drive. It was also one of the last trains I ever saw the cab of. Up until, I say fairly recently, probably the last sort of 10 years was the first time I'd seen a cab picture of it. There was one clip on YouTube, I think, ages ago. You hear this Brummy driver talking about how it was they're a bugger in the frost. So see, we've got like the radio printer in this Siemens thing. I think this was to do with the signalling and the communication inside the Channel Tunnel. And here's how much power we're using, and the remote one, which Master and Slave, is like if it were running multiple. Of course, speed set said VI below it, which is for Tess. Oh, that's the noise it makes while it's reducing speed. So if your speed set's higher than the speed you're doing, and you can hear the fans kick in there while we're in dynamic braking. Whee! To apologise for the beeping and the wobbly bit of track. It will sort itself out soon enough. I'm just going to stay speeding just to stop the alarm more than anything. Not 100% sure why it does that. I don't know if I'm meant to shut off power to then brake. I don't know. We'll try that next time. So what we also have to look out for, because we're on West Coast Main Line over Shap, is neutral sections. This loco has got the script in for the neutral sections, so we have to make sure we've shut off power before we go through them. Oh, I didn't even see that 10 coming up. royally messed this one up already. Outside. So as you can hear, the fans have increased. So we've got screenshots while we're here. Cab-wise, I think it's a really nice cab. It looks comfortable, everything's in reach. You've sort of got this slightly wraparound effect on the actual instrument panel itself. You've got the pedestal power handle. TBL braking, it's a loco brake, and then your train brake, brake overcharge. That's your emergency brake, and your horn. I'll do the horn in a bit when we get going. There'll be plenty of opportunities to hear that. Right, we can give us a bit of speed increase now. Got a neutral section coming up. See a black and white marker there. Don't actually know where they are on this route. This is them coming up here. Look, you'll see the magnets. This will cut off power, and you'll notice line light will go out and stuff. This is us in it now. Here the fan's cut out, so we're just coasting through at the moment. You'll know when we're through the neutral section because you'll hear that. We can pile on the power again, and we have the line up to 75. really pleased now that Serco are using the 92s that they've hired from GBRF on the Caledonian Sleepers. They've not been without their problems, but I think the examples they were using were pretty long stored, and they reactivated them and they weren't as reliable as they were hoping, so they've been hiring in 90s until recently. I think they're back on them now, which is a shame because it's kind of the job they were designed for, hauling sleepers and hauling freight through the tunnel. And I do like the Caledonian Sleeper livery. I know quite a few people moaned that it was boring, but I quite like it. So it might not be the nicest horns, but it's realistic at least. And even though we've got the line speed up to 90, we'll be sticking at 75 because that's the speed limit for the wagons we've got today. The traction handle is a continuous traction handle, there's no steps in it. It has a little hill start button in real life. It's not simulated, but there's a hill start button there which will hold a bit of brake pressure as you pull off. I'm going to try and push it quite hard just so you can hear. Hopefully we'll kick in a couple of the fans so you can hear them. I'm constantly checking Armstrong Powerhouse's Facebook page at the moment just to make sure I don't miss 91 coming out. I don't have much filming time this weekend. I'm off to see friends tonight, and mate's coming up from London tomorrow, so I'm going to be on the Raz a bit. So I was hoping I'd get one in today. I was hoping I'd get back from work today and be able to go, yay, it's here. So I've literally had my phone in my hand all day, checking. But good things come to those who wait. So I thought I'd do a little run. The West Coast Main over Shap route is slowly becoming one of my favourites. I think it's just graphically stunning. I think this was Keith Ross' route, which is the guy who did the West Coast Main Line North. And considering it's a couple of years old now, at least a few years old, 3-4 years old even, maybe not that old, but it's old enough. It still looks brilliant. always feels quite warm in the cab of a 92. Don't ask me why. Being a kid of the 90s, the max power era, I love the gauges up the A-pillar. Which reminds me of my mate's Escort many years ago. Another thing I like about this is the town doesn't bore me. Some trains you drive and they drive you nuts because of the sounds. But I think it's the softer tones on the AWS, softer tones on the DSD. The fact that the fan noise has changed quite a lot. Yeah. Not a big fan of the outside noises because it just sounds like a Hoover, but I do like it. Might go out and get some screenshots while we're on such a pretty route. Oh, there we go. 87 coming up beside us. Don't really want that in it because it's not the right AI. So something I just quickly while I remember, something that I read up yesterday when I downloaded the update to the East Coast Main Line from DP Simulations was that quick drive, right? So with quick drive trains, they're not running until you get within a set distance of them, and then they start up and start running. So that's why on quick drives you very rarely get anything running at line speed, which I didn't know until yesterday. So I thought I'd share that little interesting fact with you all. Ah, there we go. So the FAP lights come on, which means my power's done. If you read what it says here, DLF monitor recognise level exceedance. So what we have to do is press F, and then our amps will kick back in. So I can't remember what DLF stands for. But if I remember rightly, it's to do with the interference that this can cause with line side signalling and stuff like that. So it's got a monitoring system on it that basically, if it exceeds a certain level, cuts traction out. Which I think has also been the issue with them on the sleepers as well. Don't quote me on that though. So, channel Newswires as well. What I'm going to do is, when I hit 100 subscribers, which, if it's going the way, it keeps going the way it has been, Should probably be some point next week, probably Tuesday, I think. I'm going to do a little giveaway, and I'm going to do it for the Armstrong Powerhouse Class 91 Enhancement Pack. I'm not sure how I'm going to do it yet. I'll have a think about it, but I'd like to do something, just say thanks to you guys for subscribing. I know it's what every other bloody YouTuber does. It's a nice way to show that you guys do make a difference to me in a not as soppy as that sounded way. So as we stand at the moment, I've got 58 subscribers. That's this very second, so it won't be when you probably watch this video. Hopefully it'll be a little bit higher. So when we reach 100, we'll work out a way of doing a giveaway. Might even have to set up a Facebook page to do it. Ugh. Sasa's got another neutral section coming up. Handily on the HUD, it does tell you when they're coming up. I think a lot of it that I like about this route is the line side detailing is high. It's not super duper duper duper, but it is very very good. I got the Trent Valley route, but I had to refund it very quickly because I needed the money for something else. but supposedly that's got amazing line-side detailing, so when I do get a little bit more money I will start buying more routes, and that's up there with the ones I really want at the moment. Even though Train Sim World's coming, I'm still quite happy to invest in this for a little bit. Keep the channel fresh, keep the content fresh, keep my enjoyment of it fresh, if I'm honest. Since doing these videos I found that I drive routes that I wouldn't usually drive, I drive at times I wouldn't usually drive, and weather I wouldn't usually drive, and locos I wouldn't usually drive. So yeah, sort of brought a new lease of life to the simulator for me. It's just little things like the limited clearance signs and the no clearance signs that we just saw coming up to the bridge. They're not on every route, because I'm sure it takes an absolute ton of effort to go through it all, put it all in, check rails, everything. So hats off to all those guys that do sit and do routes. As I keep saying, I will learn to do it. And it's sort of making me question what it's going to be like for Train Sim World. Is there going to be such an in-depth editor as there is with Train Sim? Is it going to be simpler? I don't know. They've not really told us anything about that yet. I think we are due a new dev update. They did put on the Facebook last week, I think it was, saying, have you watched the first one, because the second one's coming up very soon. We haven't seen the second one yet, because the first one was just the video we basically saw when they launched it in the first place. Yeah, you were. I got confused there. So I've just had another black and white sign for a neutral section. Just that start noise just makes me giggle. Love it. we're not going to have long, got about 6 miles to go until we're looped. So yeah, just a quick recap of what I'm expecting from the enhancement pack is improved physics, improved cab functionality, and an amazing sound set. And some of the liveries that they've got coming out already look awesome. Look at the GNR livery, and they've redone the Swallow livery, which looks amazing. So it's just the little touches with these packs. It's like just having that TMS screen that you can do that. It just adds a little bit more immersion. And it's like a lot of effort's gone into them. And I don't know the guy that does Armstrong Powerhouse myself at all, but the trains he tends to pick to do these enhancements tend to be my sort of era, so I'm guessing he's probably not far off from my age, or at least shares the same sort of interest as me, which is quite cool. And I'm expecting it to be a pretty popular pack. I mean, each Facebook picture he's put up has got like 200 likes, and considering the release picture of the release announcement for the 313 got 170, I think it was. Maybe more now, but it was less. I'm going to come off the power now because I've only got 2 miles. I'm going to have to slow down pretty quick at some point. So yeah, the GNR one he put up, which is on his final stretch of people, which I think is probably about offered. If it was in the real route, it's got 150. The Swallow livery one's 233. The GNR one in King's Cross 225. Haha, 225 likes, and it's in C225. So we've got a 15 limit coming up. So what I'm going to do, that down to 30. Let the rheostatic do the work. And the one where it's crossed the level crossing the video with a horn, 205. The East Coast in King's Cross 213, the East Coast livery with 313 next to 240, but then 313 pack 41, 72. 72 is actually my video. Woohoo! The actual release was 170, and the release tomorrow was 174. So it looks like the 91 pack's going to be pretty popular. What I'm hoping to do is bang out, it says it comes with 3 scenarios, so I'm hoping to do all 3 scenarios in a day and get those all out for you and have a full run through, so you can come and have a look here before you go and buy. Not that I think it's going to have any issues whatsoever, never say never. I would be amazingly surprised if it does. I don't know if this loop's even going to be big enough for us, you know. Doesn't look it. But it doesn't matter. Oh, that's not the end of it. It's just a shunt signal for the other side, and so yeah, it should be long enough. But what I'm going to do is just stop it here. And say thank you very much, guys, as per usual. So keep an eye out for the Class 91 pack coming up in Armstrong Powerhouse, and I'll have the videos out as soon as I can. Even if I'm ridiculously hungover over the weekend, you will get some videos. Thanks ever so much. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment. If anybody's got any idea, by the way, about a giveaway or how to do the giveaway, feel free to let me know in the comments. All the best. See you soon.